So a landmark album gets the deluxe treatment. Let's talk about it next. Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Rewind, Relive, and Review. I'm Rick. This is the show where I talk about movies, music, television, because I love all types of entertainment. And if you love entertainment, this is the channel for you. And today we are talking about a landmark album which came out originally in 1991. It still gets a lot of heavy play in my rotation to this day. And if you're a fan of Seal, you know exactly what I mean. His first album, the self-titled album Seal, which came out in 1991, has been re-released. It was actually re-released a couple of months ago, and they gave it the deluxe treatment. But I wanted to wait before I put out a video on this, simply because I wanted to soak it in and let you guys know everything that comes with this deluxe treatment. And it did not disappoint. Now, a little backstory here. Originally, this album has been released a couple of times. Let me explain. First, there was the premix, early edition of the album. They made some changes, and I'll go back to the premix here in a little bit. But what the majority of us got was actually the second album, the second version of this album, so to speak. And that was commonly known as the Seal album. Later on, we did get a deluxe treatment several years back. It had 5.1 surround sound, and it came with videos, which is also in my collection. But the thing that bothered me was I had the Seal album, which was generally released. I had that deluxe 5.1 album, but I didn't have the premixes. So let me tell you what these premixes consist of. Now, like I said, the early premix version was replaced by a later final version with slightly alternate mixes of most of the tracks. Now, the catalog number remained the same, but on the disc itself, the matrix code had an extra digit on what we have in the later version. Now, that in and of itself doesn't really mean anything. It's the music content that made this premix so worthwhile. The running time of the premix version is a little bit shorter, clocking in at 50 minutes, 28 seconds, versus what we normally get in the later version, which was 52 minutes and 15 seconds. And the reason for that, like I said, several of the tracks have been altered. The song Crazy is a lot shorter on the premix album. And then there's Wild and Violet. Now, Wild is, in fact, a completely different recording altogether. And I'm going to give you an example of that. Here is what we would call original version of Wild, but it's actually the latter version. And here is the premix version. As you can tell, that's more of a rock kind of feel to it. And I like them both. And when I heard this, I had to have the premix version, but I either couldn't find it anywhere here in the States, overseas. It was just an ungodly amount of money for it. The mix of Killer also has different variations throughout the song. and Violet has been reworked slightly itself. The early version also mastered at a slightly lower volume. Deepwater and Killer are noticeably quieter. Additionally, the intro of Crazy and the 4 minute and 30 second to 5 minute and 5 second part in Violet is relatively much quieter than the quote unquote final version. Now, again, like I said, I could find the premix version overseas, but it would run for just the one disc anywhere from $75 to $200. I wasn't going to pay that. And I was oh so happy to hear about the re-release of this album in a true deluxe format. So let's go over everything that consists of that deluxe format. Okay, so this is in a hardcover 12 by 12 book that includes rare photos and liner notes. So it fits on your shelf neatly with the rest of your LPs. But in addition to those two LPs, you get 4 CDs, and they consist of, quote unquote, the original Seal CD, which was the latter version. But you also get a secondary disc, which is the premixes. So I finally got that premix CD for the same price that I would have paid for just the one disc. In addition to those two discs, there's also a third disc, which consists of rarities and remixes. And we close it out with a fourth disc, which is a 13-track live concert. Now, the original retail price on this was around $80. I was able to get it on sale at Amazon for $65. So for what I would have paid for the original premix CD only, I actually paid a little bit less and got so much extra. Now, already knowing what the premix was about, like I said, I wanted to sit on this for a while and listen to it and take it all in. I've got most of the rarities and bonus tracks off of some other 12-inch mixes that I currently own. But it's good to have the few that I didn't have previously. But the live concert is that real bonus and that real treat. I remember this would have been in 94 after the second Seal album was released. I remember going to see Seal in concert with my Uncle Robert and my bro Kaz. Don't know if you guys remember that, but we had a good time. It was a great concert. And even though this is 91 instead of the 94 concert, there's a lot of those hits that he played, plus a few extra things, which I wasn't expecting. So, yeah, this was a real treat for me. Now, for the most important part. Is this something that you should get? If you're a Seal fan like me, yeah, definitely you want this deluxe edition. If you're still new to Seal or you dug that first album, it is well worth it. For what you get extra with this deluxe edition, you can't go wrong. Now, it does not have 5.1 sound like the original deluxe edition, but it's got so much more in terms of the number of discs themselves. And again, if you're a true audiophile and you've got a record player, you've got the LPs there too. Can't go wrong with any of that. If I'm rating the original album right now, I'm going to say the music itself is a 4.5 out of 5 stars. With the packaging and the content from this, I'm also going to give it a 4.5. Now, the sound itself is beautiful. A lot of people tend to hate remasters because they see it as poor sound quality, the compression and all that, the sound boost that distorts. If you have the right system, a remaster will sound wonderful. Believe me, guys, They don't remaster albums to make them sound worse. They remaster albums to make them sound better. But because they are remastered on higher end equipment, sometimes lower end equipment will not bring out the best in what the producers and engineers have done. Take that into consideration. To a lot of people, the sound quality isn't even noticeable on their equipment. Definitely give this album a try. If you don't want the physical form, it is available on iTunes and other streaming platforms. All right, that's all the time I've got for today, but make sure that you subscribe. That way you never miss an episode. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite song is off of the Seal album. All right, I'm out. You guys stay positive, stay blessed. I'll see you real soon.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit that button right there, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You'll never miss an episode. And speaking of episodes, I got plenty more. You hit that button right there. Again, thank you so much. Stay positive, stay blessed. I'll see you soon.